I'm gonna miss one, so back me up here, Casey. Sarri, Frank Lampard, Graham Potter, Thomas Tuchel. Then he goes to, let me go to Milan now. Goes to Milan, and it's Pioli, and then it's Fonseca, and now it's Conceição. It's constant turnover and turnover and turnover when it comes to the coaches. And we're just talking about the coaches.
Right.
Yeah.
Chelsea had a black hole of players that would come in and out, and they were never a program that had some stability. And when they had stability, one could argue he had productive years. His issues weren't so much being productive, it was staying healthy to get on the field and to stay on the field. And that was never something that was granted to him. And a lot of that is on Christian Pulisic. A lot of that is also the
some of it was too unlucky because there's a couple times where he really got some good runs together and then took a smash and then was out for a long time.
And it could be unlucky, but it was a combination. It was circumstantial, but it just wasn't meant to be.
Right.
Goes to Milan, and you really have to tip your hat to a guy that many saw as a lost cause. Yeah. He goes for about 20-something, $21, $22 million to Milan. He was an afterthought. And he's turned or gone from an afterthought to the face of AC Milan, a historic brand in world football. The problem is the historic brand in world football is now 9th place in Serie A.
Yeah, but you're the bright light, at least.
It doesn't matter.
100%.
That's what people are going to hang over Christian Pulisic. But Christian Pulisic right now, with this milestone, that proves that may be this Milan, but that's not this Christian Pulisic. He's in elite company right there. Lautaro Martinez has been one of the best players in world football for quite some time, and easily the best player in Serie A for quite some time. Last year's MVP, Lookman, what he did with Atalanta, they actually beat Bayer Leverkusen in the Europa League final. He was the star of that match with a hat-trick. You can see the level of competition that he is up with, and he's there. It's not Rafa Leao. It's not some other player. It's Christian Pulisic. This is a testament to who Christian Pulisic is and who he could be.
So if we're talking about this version of Christian Pulisic, with the history that you just outlined for us, is this his peak at the moment? Is this the best that he's been at the club level case?
I think so, simply because of the consistency over a time period. I think we saw glimpses of what could be, and then there'd be a setback. And I think this is where the consistency really takes over. And to me, if I'm a coach, you got to know that a player is going to be available for you. It's so difficult to get excited for somebody and then, oh, look at what he gives us. Oh, and now he's out for 2 months. Yeah. Okay, look at him fight back. Oh, look at that. Oh, now he's out again. So because of the consistency level, because of the contributions, 100%. He's at his peak right now.
Case mentioned that there was always flashes of that brilliance. Lockdown Pulisic, how good he was. No fans in the stadium. There's always an asterisk right there, right? What about the Champions League run where they won the Champions League, the goal versus Real Madrid? Yeah. There was always these flashes. The games against Liverpool. It was always flashes of what Christian Pulisic can be, but he never could quite piece it together long term to stay on the field, to get on the field, stay on the field, and be productive. He's doing that now, and he's doing it with multiple coaches. He's doing it with different teammates. He's taking the responsibility of being a leader in his own way. This has to have Milan fans and national team fans of the U.S., very excited, and Christian Pulisic himself, who's found a home in Milan.
Speaking of the national team, Herc, I'll stick with you on this one. What he's doing here with Milan, how can that be translated on the field for the U.S. men's national team?
Well, I would argue that it has been translated for the U.S. men's national team. There's going to be a lot of people who push back on that narrative because of how bad the U.S. men's national team has been as of late. But if you go through the numbers for Christian Pulisic, he's one of the few consistent contributors. It's very difficult to do everything by yourself, especially in a team that hasn't been a team for quite some time. But I would give Christian Pulisic that. Listen, Christian Pulisic is going to go down as the best U.S. men's national team player ever, okay? Right now, he's got the best club resume that's existed. He needs those moments with the national team to back that claim up. Because Landon Donovan, because Clint Dempsey, they've got multiple goals in multiple World Cups. They've had their moments, marquee moments, where Landon's been a teenager and lit the U.S. world on fire on their way to making Mexico pay and almost a semifinal appearance if it wasn't for a blown handball, against Germany for Torsten Frings. Clint Dempsey and what he's done in his multiple World Cups and the Confederations Cup run where they ended Spain's 35-game unbeaten streak. There are some massive moments by some American players. Christian Pulisic doesn't have that right now. But if you look at how talented he is, if you look at where he is in this club football in Europe and what he's done already, that resume speaks for himself. He's just lacking those moments.
Yeah, I think the tricky part for me is people kind of national team fans want him to be something that he's not. They want him to be this all-encompassing, you can play inside, you can play outside, but then you're also the vocal leader of this team. Well, I mean, that's either in your DNA or it's not. And it doesn't have to be.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, he will be a leader 100% by what he does on the field, but he's not going to be what the fans think he
They want him
should.
to be Tyler Adams.
Or want him to be Claudio Reyna, or want him to be, somebody that's not, that he isn't. He has to do his role. And I think Pochettino has tried to play him centrally. There's a reason why AC Milan doesn't play him centrally. They love the idea of him coming off and coming inside and connecting and doing things.
That's another thing, though, Case. He's been moved around a lot in AC Milan. They've played him as the 10.
Yeah.
And when I was against it, I don't think he's proved that he could play there.
I know he can play it.
No, but that's the thing. The thing with the U.S. men's national team is that this is just a bad team right now.
Yeah.
It's a bad moment, and it's unfair to just put everything on Christian Pulisic.
Right.
I think you're right. People expect him to be something that most players aren't international. They want him to dominate the way that Mbappe dominates with France or that, Messi dominates. They want that out of Christian Pulisic. That's just it's unheard of.
Because what's happening right now is you really know, because of the form of a lot of other players with the national team, if we can kick lumps out of Christian and kind of eliminate him from the equation, nobody else.
Yeah, and they've
potentially,
done that.
yes.
They've done that.
Where if you kick Mbappe, there's you got to kick a whole bunch of other people as well. So I think the best thing for Christian's form with the national team would be 2 or 3 other guys getting into the form for the national team. And then you can't have a singular focus defensively.
It's a form of controlling things that are out of your control, right? What can I do at the club level to bring that to U.S. men's national team level? Maybe it'll be contagious. I don't waste time on the talking the talk. I'm going to focus on walking the walk here.
That's first and foremost, Christina. Your club
leader.
always starts the conversation. And then because of your club form, you get the opportunity with the national team.